Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nidus Anarchy series. I'm your host Adam, CIO and co-founder of Nidus, and today I want to talk about something that just saved my butt, which is how to travel and still stay safe with these handy dandy little routers from GL.iNet. So I recently took about a month of a vacation where I worked the entire time, but basically I just wasn't home, and we had got hotels and Airbnbs and stuff, and this way, my kids and wife, they can all go out and do stuff, and I just stay at home at work. At least I'm not in this office. But the big thing is I want to make sure that my secure connections for all my laptops and everything I'm doing is definitely tunneled all the way through, and I don't have to worry about the Wi-Fi is at the Airbnb or the hotel Wi-Fi, because that stuff's never secure, and I'm ultra paranoid. So I'm going to talk about a couple little things that I do, and these little guys here have been a massive lifesaver in a couple different places that I stayed at, and I'm going to tell you why. Because most of the internet and the places I was going to was utter garbage for various reasons, and because I had these two things, it saved my butt more times than I can count. So I'll talk about what each one of these little things are. First off, they're both just routers, but highly configurable routers that you can do all kinds of really cool stuff with, including set up a tunnel network into a VPN back to your home network or wherever. So I have the Dream Machine from Ubiquiti here, and I set up OpenVPN, and then I installed the OpenVPN client here. So these things are configured so that when they turn on, anyone that connects to them via Wi-Fi will then instantly be tunneled in and be coming right through my house right here. So therefore, it looks like it's coming from my house. I can access all my machines locally, and therefore I know my connections are secure. So what I did is I actually set up the Wi-Fi network name on both of these things to match the Wi-Fi network name in my house. So therefore, when we got to the Airbnb or the hotel or wherever we were at, just plug in. I would just start out with this little one here, because this is way smaller. It doesn't transmit a huge range, but for a hotel room, it's fine. And plug this thing in, and then this way, when I turn on my computer, phones, kids' phones, tablets, all that kind of stuff, they're already predestined to join this. So they don't even join the hotel Wi-Fi, and they already can do the things that they want to do. So that's where this little thing comes in handy. It's super efficient. It has both a WAN and a LAN port. You can also set it up as a Wi-Fi repeater, which is I did most of the time, because nowadays most hotels and places don't have an actual Ethernet cable in the rooms anymore. It's all just Wi-Fi. So you can set these things up as a Wi-Fi repeater. Little hint that I found out though, there were a couple times where the hotels have that splash page where you have to say, hey, yes, I agree to your terms, whatever, give me the free Wi-Fi. And then from there, it extends out the Wi-Fi and then builds the VPN tunnel. What you have to do is you have to make sure your VPN tunnel is off, connect to the Wi-Fi, and then from your computer, one of two things. I had two different places where I had to do two different things to make it work. One of them was I just had to connect my computer. I did it via the LAN port into here, and this thing was then connected to the hotel Wi-Fi, and then my laptop would then confirm saying, yes, I agree to your terms, and then that worked, and then everything got to go because it looked like one IP address going to the hotel Wi-Fi, so that worked out great. There was another time well that didn't work at all, and it became super frustrating. So then what I had to do was connect my laptop to the hotel Wi-Fi and then accept the terms, whatever. Once that was done, I was able to clone my MAC address from my laptop onto here. So this now looked like my computer. So when I connected to the Wi-Fi, it assumed it already agreed to the terms of service, and then it extended the Wi-Fi and created the new Wi-Fi network. Then all my machines connected. Yay, everything worked out great. By the way, this little one here, this is the GL.iNet 300M mini smart router. This thing is so tiny. Look at this, it's so small. It works out great though. Has USB port. I'm guessing this is just to flash it and stuff. I'm not really sure what this is for. I haven't used it. It's got a little physical toggle switch that you can set up to do things. I don't use this at all. Power just uses a micro USB, and then it has a WAN and a LAN port. And then, like I said, it can also do Wi-Fi repeating, which is what I use it the most for. Now, next up, we'll get into another circumstance that I had. And that was I had an Airbnb where it had Wi-Fi technically, but it only reached the living room where the TV was and nowhere else in the house. Which meant I would have to work in the living room when the kids are going to want to watch Netflix and all their Masha and Bear stuff while I'm working. That's impossible. So thankfully, I have this one. This little one's a little bit bigger. Same company though. This is the GL.iNet AX1800 wireless router. This is actually the box. I had it, so I just figured I'd show it here. This thing's pretty rad too. It's configured the exact same way as this. So what's cool is if you've already got this one figured out, which takes a little bit to do, but it's not hard, ChatGPT will be your best friend. You set this up the exact same way. This just has more ports, more power, and more importantly, way more range for extending that Wi-Fi signal. And that's where this thing saved my butt. So what I did, I took out I have a couple network cables, Ethernet cables. I plugged one in from the WAN port into the router at the house. And then from there, I just extended the Wi-Fi using this. And this thing was able to power to 2 floors throughout the entire house, even outside. So we had Wi-Fi everywhere. And it was all VPN'd into my home network. So it looked like I was at home. So I had access to all my stuff. And then from there, I was able to know that everything was logged in securely, and I didn't have to worry about their internet being compromised or whatever. This one here also has a micro SD slot. I don't think this one does. No, this one doesn't. And this one is powered by USB-C. So I was actually able to power this. Originally, I had to do this twice. So the first time I was able to power it right off the router. So I was able to plug a USB-C cable into here, right into the router's auxiliary port, and it was enough power to keep this thing going, which was great. There was another time where I had a router that absolutely could not power this, and there was no electrical outlets anywhere around. So what I actually did, do I have this here? I don't know where it is. But anyway, I have just a battery pack, just like you would use to charge your phone. It's about this big, nothing crazy. Had that fully charged. I plugged this into that battery pack. It lasted all day long, no problem. And then I would just charge the battery pack at night when we were sleeping. So these little routers, super cheap and affordable, but very powerful, and they will save your butt. The very last thing is when you don't have any internet at all, and that has happened as well. In that case, cell phone became my backup. So I have my phone, that became a hotspot. I then would repeat the network from here to the hotspot on my phone, and then all my traffic went through there. Obviously, because of the slower bandwidth, because of where we were, I then had to limit who could have access to what. So at that point, I set up some QoS, so therefore my machines had full access to do whatever I need to do, and then I would allow the one TV to have very low bandwidth to Netflix or whatever, so the kids could watch their TV. But other than that, I basically isolated everybody else off. I highly recommend these. I picked these things up on Amazon. If you're ever traveling, definitely pick one up. This thing, I keep this with me everywhere I go. So every time I go into a hotel or everywhere I'm somewhere else and I'm connected to some Wi-Fi, Starbucks, whatever, I just use this thing. You can power this right from your laptop. So this micro USB right into your laptop, boom, it's on. Instantly repeat the Wi-Fi that's around you, but you're tunneled in, and then you're super safe, and all your devices can then connect to this one thing and make life super simple. So if you're traveling and you have any of the needs that I just showed you that helped me out, that's what I did, and it was a lifesaver. So I highly recommend this company. They're awesome. They've been working great now for this one. I've had this for years. This one has been working pretty solid for a couple months. So that's my take on that, and I hope they help someone out there. See you around. Later.